Hello Outcasts and other views, and welcome to this video. I know this title might be like, oh, a Rogue One review. I have to say that I'm not a professional reviewer, so I can't give a, expertise review of the movie, but I can give you my opinions of what's good and what's bad, and maybe if, I suggest you to watch it or not. Anyways, let's get right into Rogue One. So, Rogue One, when I started watching this, I had one issue, which was a bit bothering throughout the entire, cinema. Somebody brought their baby. Somebody took their baby and they put it in the cinema. In the room where the screen was, they put the baby there. Why did they do that? Because during, when you were supposed to feel emotions, it was just like, you heard that in the background. It's like, oh my god. Who did that? Who brought their baby? Who brought their goddamn baby? Now, let's get to the movie, because that's what we're all here for. They did have some very funny, one-liners here and there, but some of them, at least from this one character, it's called KS2. KS2, I believe it was, something like that. It was a robot, a new robot, an Imperial droid that was reprogrammed by the Rebels. It was it had a lot of one-liners, but sometimes they were just like, oh come on, that's obvious, we know that. But overall, I feel like it was quite funny. I saw some articles saying that some of these new characters didn't get enough screen time and stuff, but to me, I didn't really notice that too much, as what I was focusing on was more the story and how it was playing out and how it felt. Because I'm all about immersing myself into the movie and just having a good time, enjoying the thrill of the fight and the movies and the scenes and feeling what's happening. I feel like that's the cool way to watch a cinema movie. Rogue One had a lot of. In the beginning, it was a bit compared to after now when I'm done watching it. The beginning was okay, but it wasn't the best. It could have been a lot better. And in the beginning, you get to know a few characters that doesn't really matter too much as far as I cared. It's like, okay, you're this person, but to me, you don't really matter. I don't want to give any spoilers, but when you see the movie, the first part of the movie aren't too interesting. They are a bit interesting. There are some cool bits here and there, but they aren't continuously interesting and cool. But every movie can't always be extremely perfect unless they really want to be. Now, in this movie, one thing I really enjoyed about it was that the Empire actually felt like this massive threat. That you couldn't just oh, we're gonna attack here and there and we're gonna be okay. It was like, holy shit, the Empire, what do? They're here and there, but we don't want to do this or don't want to do that. And it's when they start learning more about the super weapon, they're a bit more scared, and you get to see more of the rebel infrastructure and how they actually work and how there's so many rebels. You sort of learn, not directly, but you sort of could figure out how the rebel forces actually work a bit more than just oh yeah, we win every time. But in this movie, they feel more they're aimlessly trying to go for something they're not really sure about, and the Empire's this big threat that they're really scared about. And it just plays out really well. I feel like the feel of the movie, how the rebels feel and how the Imperials feel, they're really good feel to it. Now, one thing I really disliked, Darth Vader's voice. I mean, when I first saw Darth Vader, I was like, oh my god, what is he gonna sound like? What's he gonna do? And when he opened his mouth, well, I assume he did, and he said something, I got extremely disappointed. I was like, oh, you sound... Even somebody in the cinema I was sitting in, I heard somebody behind me is there something with Darth Vader's voice? He sound a bit weird. And I could agree, the voices aren't perfect in this movie. Definitely not Darth Vader's voice. And one of the other Imperial officers, for me, I don't know why, but sometimes he just looked like a 3D animation. And if he was, that would be be quite funny. But he was, I don't know if he was or wasn't. Sometimes I was a bit confused because he looked like a 3D animation, because his lips didn't match what he was saying sometimes. So I was like, oh, all right, maybe he's a good you know, I don't know, like a, you know, something. Maybe he's good at just mimicking audio with his mouth without actually looking like he's saying that audio. And I said audio, yes, because it's a sound, yeah. Anyways, in the bigger and grander scales of things, I want to keep this quite short and I want to keep it spoiler free. Now, the reason why I'm not talking too in depth about this is because I sort of want you to experience most of this without knowing too much about the characters, because I feel like that's the best way to go into this, not knowing too much. Because some places I got really surprised and I was really happy with how they did things, and I was really like, it was Star Wars as well. I'm a very big Star Wars fan, so I'm gonna say that. If you don't really like Star Wars or you don't really care too much, I wouldn't suggest you to go and watch this movie. But if you do like Star Wars a lot and you're a casual Star Wars fan, I would recommend you to watch this for sure. If you really like Star Wars, I would also recommend you to watch this movie for sure, and you probably already have watched it, unless it comes out another date or later, who knows. Anyways, I'm Hurricane Turtle, hope you enjoyed this little opinionated review kind of thing. Oh yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a like, you know, if you like this video, and my final score for Star Wars Rogue One, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I can't say it's better than average for sure. It's Star Wars for once, that's like one bonus point. I feel like there's a story I wanted to see, and the feeling of the movie was just really good. I felt like it fitted, it was so nice. That's another point, and well, I'm not going to list all the points, but that's like how I feel. 7 out of 10, I feel like it's a good score, or 7.5, something around there, but I wouldn't give it higher than 8 or 9, because I don't feel like it's that perfect, it's not that good that I would instantly go back and watch it again. I'll probably watch it again, but not right away, because it didn't catch me like that. But then again, somebody might want to watch it again. In my opinion, it's a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. If you like videos like this, please tell me in the comments down below. I'll be sure to respond to every single one of the comments. I will try, as long as I can handle it, you know. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.